Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hey, this is Jan. Welcome to the Save Money and More channel with Jan. I happen to be Jan. How's everybody doing today? Want to get right to the point. It's one thing when people talk about doing things, talk, 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 but they don't give you a lesson by example. When we were kids, excuse the throat, when we were children, okay, and we were first learning math, many of us in our generation, we were taught to count on our fingers, or if there were pennies, bring pennies to school, pennies, dimes, nickels, use that as a literal hands-on way to learn lessons by example. Those were great mathematical examples, okay? Now, I want to jump into some other examples that I question the validity of how good of an example it is, but there's good news at the end of it. It may sound dismal for a minute, but at the end of the day, there's good news about it. What on earth am I talking about? Well, let's just say people in higher places in general in life. Seems to me that people in higher places sometimes, whether it's a corporation you've worked for yourself or other places even higher than that in life, sometimes it strikes me they have a lot of problems balancing the budget. If you see where I'm going with this, without seeing where I'm going with this, so here's that's the bad news because you hear these reports about balanced budget, not balanced budget, crazy spending on goodness knows what, and for goodness knows why. But I sit there thinking, as a person that likes to monitor my own budget, which is what we have to do. Every one of us, we are the CEOs of our own lives. God is helping us, He is there for us, but we have to do our part. And part of it is handling our financials responsibly. That's the bad news in reference to the bad example, but in a way, turn it around. Turn it around as bad lessons by example turning good. You could say to yourself, "Well, I don't want that to happen to me." No, and you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. Let's get back to when we were kids, all right? We counted our pennies literally, we counted our dimes literally, nickels and quarters. We added, we subtracted. Well, we have to do this as adults with our budgets. We have to create a budget. A budget is a living and breathing document. It is ever changing and it is totally within our reach and our capacity to work with. We need to be mindful of our numbers. We need not to be afraid of the mistakes we might have made in the past, fearing we're going to make them again. Wash that out of your brain and look forward to a brand new day and a brand new future. So, what's the basic gist of today's No Frills video, which is supposed to last less than 5 minutes and definitely more than 1 minute? We passed the 1 minute mark about 2 minutes back. Okay, so the lesson today, the takeaway is this: you could look at a situation and you could say, "Oh my word, that's a horrible, disgusting situation," and you want to avoid it. There's your lesson. The lesson you learned by whatever that situation is, you want to avoid it, okay? Then you figure out the ways to avoid it, all right? Then there's the other lesson. Well, I want to be prepared. How can I be prepared? Knowing your numbers, tracking your expenses. We'll take a little more time on a longer form video on my other show, on the Let's Save Money show down the future. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to come back tomorrow. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Click like, share, and subscribe to the channel.